Resultados. You are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leck.
Together we are Raw Break. And family, we have like NXT, like the beginning of the era of Samoa Joe as an NXT champion. Lots of changes. NXT is going to be rebranding itself. You know, that's why the show was taped. But, you know, despite of that, maybe some good things, you know, coming out like pieces, like, you know, little things that came out of this show, because, like, overall, I think it was really bad. But we're going to be talking about everything. Paul, what do you think about this show?
Yeah, I mean, overall, not a very good show. The one thing, AEW, I will say, sometimes their shows are at least more entertaining. Whether it's good or bad, they're always more entertaining, you know, whether it's good or bad entertaining, like I said. But this show, I feel it just... you know, sometimes it's just so boring and the stuff isn't good, you know, and this was one of those episodes where, you know, the thing with Samoa Joe should have been legit, and we'll get into why, at least why I didn't think it was. And, you know, just everything else just felt real boring, real bad, real bland.
Yep. And so, family, thank you so very much for all the love. You know, a lot of good viewership from you. Thank you one more time, you know, for all this great weekend that we have, like, you know, last week. So, you know, don't forget to check out the Monday Night Raw review, like the RK Bros, the championship celebration. You know, we see, like, the dominance of Matt Riddle and Randy Orton. But you know, Paul, that at some point they're going to have to, like, split up and they're going to feud, right?
Oh, well, yeah, that's the typical, you know, WWE Monday Night, or not even Monday Night Raw, just WWE booking. But, I mean, you know, Matt Riddle, it's good to see him being pushed. And, I mean, AJ keeps putting on legit matches with pretty much everybody. He has great chemistry with both these guys. But it just sucks because, you know, AJ, you're doing nothing with this guy. And, you know, Monday Night Raw, everything with Goldberg, Lashley, all this stuff, you know. I did like Damian Priest going after him. I'm like, maybe we're going to see Ultimate Warrior, you know, belts, and then Drew gets involved, and no.
Exactly. We'll see what happens, and don't forget to check out all my thoughts, everything that happened throughout those 3 hours. Don't forget, Jean-Paul and myself, also Samoa Joe, NXT Takeover 36, everything. Thank you for the viewership on this video. Like everything, every single match that happened there, Ilya Dragunov, all the titles changes that we saw, and, you know, the beginning of this, Paul. So, you know, tell me a little bit about the beginning of this show that is like the $1 million celebration with Cameron Grimes and also like Teddy DiBiase. And they come out, you know, like on limousine, all like being like fancy and wealthy. They come out and I mean, the promo that they cut between each other, that was good. Teddy DiBiase, like, I was testing you. I knew you were the man. I had to put you through all this shit. And also, like Cameron Grimes says, like, I didn't like when I was picking up the crap. But then I realized that money is not everything, but accomplishments mean more than anything. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was pretty good. I don't know. This really, it wouldn't have been what I started the show with. I would have started the show with Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wanted to see. That's the hottest thing in NXT. Really the only hot thing, if you ask me. And NXT, you know, is the main title picture right now with Samoa Joe. And, you know, Cameron Grimes coming out. Like you said, it was a good promo. DiBiase is, you know, at least he wasn't like last week or 2 weeks ago where he was like,
no, he sounded more natural.
Yeah, this was good, like he said. You know, Cameron Grimes, the one thing you have is heart. You know, that was what the only thing I didn't like is how he was just saying you need somebody to be legit, to be true, and, you know, all these babyface qualities. He's like, to be the $1 million champion. I'm like, wasn't it all heels who held?
No, heel. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know about that, but whatever. I guess I'll let it slide.
We got to see a little bit of money too, like flying out. Like we've seen this with like Donald Trump, JBL. So like Cameron Grimes has his own money, and, you know, they said that both of them are going to go to the moon. So I mean, like you said, a pretty you know, like a so-so start for like NXT.
Yeah.
You know, tell me a little bit about this match. Also, Rich Holland going against Timothy Thatcher. Here, this guy, they're going to push him at one of the top heels on NXT, and I think this is rightfully so, because remember, when we're about to get exposed to him, he got injured, but now he got a really good win over Timothy Thatcher. And I'm sorry, but Thatcher done. For me, done. You know, like, there's nothing that you can do with that guy. You know, outside of, like, take him away, take Tommaso Ciampa away from him. What do you do with him, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, see, Ciampa actually really brought him up, I felt, because they were two, you know, they're two badass, legit guys in the ring, but Ciampa's all fire, and he's all exploded, and, like, in his promos, it's screaming, throwing chairs, and Thatcher's real calm, and, you know, and it like, they had the good opposite attract, I guess you could say, in that respect. So I liked them together as a team, and I agree, if you split them up, which I'm not saying they're splitting them up, but now, you know, he's put on the shelf, to quote, well, what's his name here? Rich Holland. Yeah, to quote Rich Holland, he's like, I put him on the shelf, you know. So he's the main feud is Ciampa. This match was good though. Yeah, I forget how tall Timothy Thatcher is.
Oh yeah, he's really tall.
until you see him, he actually, I think, was taller than Rich Holland. And Rich Holland is pretty big. So,
it's just the only thing is the skinny. It's the skinny,
Yeah,
but then, post match, we get to see the return of Danny Burch. You can see only Lorcan, so they start attacking Tommaso Ciampa. Pete Dunne was involved into this because they're finally a group that they were supposed to be outside of Pat McAfee and also the injury for Rich Holland. And then in the end, you get to see, like, Timothy Thatcher all done, Tommaso Ciampa, like, they're actually trying to get a feud here going, and they actually got a promo later on that, like, Rich Holland is going to face Tommaso Ciampa. So this is good, I feel, for, like, the group. And, Thatcher and Ciampa. We'll see, though, because I think Rich Holland, like I said, here they're going to push him, like, probably to, like, I don't know, like an NXT Championship match, but, like, at least a top baby, not babyface, but heel, category.
Oh, yeah. And I like this group, actually, with Pete Dunne better. Not that Pat McAfee wasn't bad, but, a lot of these guys have, like, the UK, or they're from the UK or from Europe or somewhere. The only one I think isn't is Oney Lorcan.
Yes.
I think he's from America, but, everybody else, so it kind of fits the group, I think, better. And, I like Danny Burch coming back, was badass. Also, in that promo they cut, they pretty much said that, they're like, they're
the rightful tag team champions. Yeah,
so
MSK should not
hopefully have the match against MSK. And, I would drop it to these guys, because then that makes that group look over. Where we're going to see Pete Dunne, maybe he'll have gold soon, what we're going to talk about in a little bit. So, this might be the new undisputed era, of NXT.
It might be exactly right. You're right about that. So let's talk about Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell. Like they engage, and now they ask, like, oh, you've been like doing a lot of activities together, a lot of stuff like that, and they finally have a wedding date. So it's going to be in 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be on September 12th. Yeah, and this promo, it's funny just because Indy does all the talking, Dexter just with the drawings, and they make out at the end. Is it great? Is it good TV? No, it's not. But they have to have something for these guys. I don't know. I will never put him into this, but a lot of people like them. So there you go.
Yeah, that's what to me, like I said, I will admit if something is funny, it makes me laugh. But on a show that's not very good like this, to have this comedy crap, it really
gets it down. It brings it down. It brings it down to the point that we had to see this tag team, Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane. These actually will have some. I think that if they keep having more matches, exposure. Gigi Dolan is a pretty good wrestler, but they went against Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. So this was actually pretty quick. Also, just to give a win to the baby faces, and they're actually saying that they're going to go after the NXT Tag Team Championships. We'll see, because I don't think Io Shirai is going to drop those titles and Zoe Starks. I don't think they're going to drop them to a babyface. They need a heel team, and they don't have anybody. So now they need NXT has to go to a lot of rebuilding, Paul.
Yeah, and the fact that they acknowledged that these two called out the champions on TikTok, and then after the match they called them the TikTok tag team. I'm like, I'm completely done. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, can we be serious? Again, on TikTok they're dancing, we want the tag team titles. That don't make them seem legit.
Yes.
That makes them seem like a joke. So, I would have put this new team over because, then you can actually do something with them, but maybe they will put them over after with what we see here. Mandy Rose, she was like, "Oh, you guys are legit. I see something." Blah blah blah. So,
it's like you want to win more. So Mandy is going to legitimize those girls. So that was good. I agree with you. That's fine. So now finally we see a promo from Raquel Gonzalez. Addressing what happened with Dakota Kai. She says that she's not done with her. She's going to come back after for more. But we get to see Frankie Monet. So is this fine? Is this feud finally happening? So I'm excited about this. I'm actually excited about this because this makes sense. I want to see this a lot more.
Yeah, I like this because, for the same reason I'm sure you do. What did we say? Frankie Monet was one of those, on the Indies, Impact, everywhere else. She was already a main event star. She was badass. She didn't need NXT to learn. She should have came in, boom, get a bunch of wins, maybe 10 or so wins, beating up jobbers, and then call out the champion. Didn't really quite go that way. She ended, the bullshit with Robert Stone, still involved in him, but now you see she's the leader of the group. So calling out Raquel, maybe the numbers game will work in her favor. She'll win the belt or something, which I would like to see. And because I think really after that, the match with Dakota, I think Raquel's a babyface now. So now we'll see her going against the heels versus feeding her baby faces. So now
I agree with you. I agree with you, and that's the route that they need to go. I agree with you. Frankie is a lot better as a heel also, so they need to do that. Like the Taya Valkyrie that we saw in Impact. So but we have this girl in the middle, Paul. Kaylee Jade from the days of WWE NXT UK, and she had her debut match and just with enhancement talent, right? Just pretty quick, just to enhance the girl. Like we've seen this girl so many times. We know what she's capable of. We know the type of matches that she can give us. So she beat like Valentina Perez in like a pretty like quick fashion. Like as the super kicks, all the arsenal that Kaylee Ray has to offer. And the gory bomb 1, 2, 3. And like, are we gonna see Frankie or this girl? Or maybe a triple threat? I don't know, but I don't think Kaylee Ray will just be. Maybe later. I think maybe they're gonna build her up a little bit. That's my.
Yeah, I mean, unless their thing is that maybe Kaylee Ray's not going to be the one to win the title, and it's going to be Frankie. I think whoever's going to win it will go right after whoever is going to go first and lose to Raquel. It's hard to say. Do you want to put the title on Frankie? Do you think it does better on her, or does it do better on Kaylee Ray to be like, no, she's NXT UK is just as legit as this NXT. It's not like, oh, their women's champion is a joke. I really don't know. I would have rather seen one of these two women go up, to Raw or SmackDown. I think Kaylee Ray would have been great on SmackDown, but you're already at Becky Lynch, and they already got Brock Lesnar. Raw's like, can we get some help?
It's true. Like, it's true. You're absolutely right. The show's suffering to the point that like Charlotte is going to go on Alexa Bliss. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Paul. You have the ball right there. So like, we're going to throw another ball at you, and that's Samoa Joe. Like you said, he comes out, like he starts calling out people, and he just says, like he ran Karrion Kross away to Monday Night Raw to the point that like he has to look like Shao Kahn from like Mortal Kombat, with like the helmet. Your thoughts on the helmet, very quick.
The fourth member of Demolition, Axe, Smash, Crush, and Cross, but no, I mean, they said they wanted to be able to market him because, to have a look, and he didn't really have a look. He just was wearing he looked like Kratos from God of War. They're like, he needs like an actual look. I mean, I don't know. I don't like it. I think you could have did something a little bit different. But, then again, there's a dinosaur on the other, on AEW.
Yeah, that is like, leaves. Yeah, it's like, you're right.
I
So
don't know.
Yeah. But it's a really bad start over Karrion Kross. That's what we say. But here, like you said, he runs over and then says, well, the question here is like, who's going to be next? Like kind of Goldberg fashion, and then your thoughts on all these three guys. Pete Dunne came out first. That's the one that like is more serious out of the three of them. LA Knight comes out from a loss, so he needs to recover. But I mean, he's like that heel that like is funny at the same time, but he's serious. But then this guy that like starts being funny, tries his hardest to be funny, is all the intention right there, all the goodwill, but when it comes out, it just comes out flatter than a saggy ass, and that's a big issue because he's that Pete Dunne and La Knight, all of that.
He called them like Samoa Joseph or something like that.
Yes,
Pete Dunne and La Knight, and as soon as he said that, my brain shut off. I'm like, he's trying to be a goof. Adam Cole would come out, and he's always going to be compared to Adam Cole. Adam Cole's like his older brother. The younger one's always going to be compared to the older one. And Adam Cole would have came out and cut a legit promo. He should have came out and been like, you say you earned a title shot. Hey, didn't you just lose a title, LA Knight? Like, you're bullshit. Why are you even out here? He should just been like, I won a 2 out of 3 falls matches with, the Adam Cole, longest reigning NXT champ, blah, 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 this and that. Why he's legit and why he deserves a title shot. But instead he tries to incorporate too much comedy into it. It wasn't good. LA Knight looked like a goofball. Why was he even out there?
Especially when he said, like, I'm going to, like, twist your fingers or something. I'm going to, like Pete Dunne, and it's like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like, right away, you look like a pussy right there. No, that wasn't good, like you said. And then Tommaso Ciampa all of a sudden comes out after Pete Dunne. So we see the feud is going to, like, still going on and all of that. And look at this picture because, like, look at the eyes of Tommaso Ciampa staring at, like, Joe and the NXT Championship. That could be a possibility, too, but you have to take him away from, like, Timothy Thatcher, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, see, that's the one thing that at least is good, is there's so many different people eyeing for this title. Now Ciampa's a singles because, his partner is beat up. He could go after the title. You have Ridge Holland who could do it. Pete Dunne, LA Knight, Kyle O'Reilly.
You have all those guys. Yeah, even you have at some point Ridge Holland. At some point,
the winner of the breakout tournament, could go after him as well. So, there's lots of stuff, that's going on here. And it's good, but, usually when they present it to us like this, it didn't go off the way it's planned.
It didn't go the way that it was supposed to go, like you said. Maybe because it was taped. Maybe because, like, just coming out of TakeOver. It did not look good. This was actually funny, though, because, like, Ted DiBiase just gives him, like, the $1 million championship to, like, Cameron Grimes. And he's like, well, like, Ted, like, I don't know, but it feels like a little cheap here. It feels like a little light. All of that. And it turns to be, like, a replica title. So it was cool. And Ted DiBiase keeps, like you said, he buries Cameron Grimes. Not buries, like, and that shouldn't not, the word, but, like, at least, he puts him down. like all of serious, like he's looking good baby face, but in the end, done.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I was like, is DiBiase like turning heel on him already, or is it like
It
Then
looks that way, yeah.
but then he laughs at it. He's like, oh, that DiBiase, like ha ha ha. He laughs it off because he gave Ted the $1 million championship back, and then Ted's like, no, you're legit, you should have it, but he just gave him like a replica shop one, like you said. Again, I don't know what to me the title doesn't mean anything.
Oh yeah, no. That one is like
Cameron Grimes should have said, you know what, this is badass, but Ted, I want you to be my manager, and I want to go after. And then he should have called out, give me Hit Row, give me Samoa Joe. This title's great, but I want to show how great I am.
I wanted one of the main titles right here. You're right. And then the laughing is just like another, like you said, Cameron Grimes completely babyface now. We'll see what happens. Let's go to the finals, to the breakout tournament, and that's Carmelo Hayes against Odyssey Jones. This was like a pretty decent match. I mean, Odyssey was like the favorite on this. But in the end, Carmelo Hayes surprises the world. Like, see right here when he did the leg drop, that massive, devastating leg drop, nothing. Odyssey, like legit, like with Keith Lee, like you said, Mark Henry and Willie Mack all combined, no reaction. But the most devastating move in WWE and in pro wrestling nowadays, and a roll up when he gets the win. I don't know what you thought about it, but I don't know. I'm surprised that like he actually got the win, and actually we'll see who he challenged to.
I mean, I'm not saying the guy's not a good wrestler. This match I thought was a good big man, little man match. But like at the end, you said you kicked out a Carmelo Hayes finisher, and he hit like a big slant, a big like splash from the top. And instead of pinning him legit, he's just laying on his back, counting with his own hand, 1, 2, and then Hayes rolls him over and pins him. And I mean, he beat both the big guys in this tournament. He beat Odyssey Jones and he beat Duke Hudson.
Duke Hudson, yeah.
To me, what are you going to do? Is he going to just beat? Is he going to call out Samoa Joe and beat him? Is he the Giant Slayer? Like, I don't really know. I don't get it. I think it makes the big guys look bad. You could have got Odyssey Jones over in this, had him lose, and he could have been a guy to call out Kushida, even though that storyline's still going on with the Diamond Mine and everything. So, I mean, I really don't know. I didn't like this. Like you said, we thought the one with Angel Garza and Bronson Reed and all that was a way better tournament than this.
Yes.
I really don't feel like there was really, and to me, the 2 stars didn't even win, and that's Duke Hudson and Odyssey Jones. So I don't know.
Yes, it wasn't that they didn't promote it as well. Also, like maybe like that like there was just like a filler in the show, so that's why they didn't do it. But I wasn't into it. You're right. So like we're going to see Ilya Dragunov next week, also on NXT TV. So that's actually interesting for me because I thought he was just going to go back to like England. I thought that he was going to be back over there, but like it seems that they need him for maybe 1 or 2 more weeks. I don't know what they're going to do, but it shows up on NXT UK also. It means that they already probably pre-taped the whole thing. We'll see what happens, but I mean, I don't know what's next for the guy. Actually, we'll find out when we do NXT.
Since they taped NXT, I mean, they probably taped it when he was over there for like the takeover for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly.
Taped all this shit, and it's like, oh, let's get you in for a couple episodes before you go back. Okay.
Exactly. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. So I will see what happens. Let's see what Zion Quinn. Like this is one of the guys that he was just like one of them in the tournament, also breakthrough tournament. He actually beats Boa. This is completely uninteresting. Nian Shah, May Yim, all of them are completely jobbed out. A terrible idea. I mean, it had a lot of like good. The beginning was really promising, right? The beginning, like, oh yeah, we're gonna see this. May Yim's gonna look legit. Xia Li's gonna look good. Even Boa, and then Raquel beat him up, and now this guy like beats him because actually also May Yim was playing a factor in it. Absolutely terrible. This, I'm not into it. This group should be already gone, done. Like you said, this is why the show done. Really sucks. Like it wasn't good at all. So like, let's tell me to this one. William Regal just says, hey, the wedding is on. They're going to still have the wedding because Johnny Gargano is like, cancel this. It sucks. So then you get to see like LA Knight also gets in the middle of this. So you see like these 2 guys start arguing and fighting. So they're going to have a match next week. And if LA Knight loses to Johnny Gargano, done. LA Knight, another one starts like maybe, think about going to Impact one more time. Eli Drake or like NWA. But like, I'm not really, I'm not digging how they're booking like LA Knight. They have a great character, but they don't know what they're doing with him.
I mean, if I could just copy and paste exactly what you said, I would, because that's, pretty. If he loses to Gargano, you can't do anything with this guy. Gargano has been involved in the worst storylines the past 6 months since they started The Way, and it was him and, Austin Theory, Candice, Indy, all that stupid, bullshit, everything. He's just been the worst character, the past how many months. And if this guy loses to him, what the hell does that do for LA Knight? So,
yes.
Yeah.
So like I don't want to see that, like you said. So like we're going to see also like Roderick Strong, which is going to be challenging Kushida. So we have to see Malcolm Bivens, and they're just talking right there, and like just like mentioning how like Roderick Strong is going to be legit. Diamond Mine, another one that is like you said, like is just like a pubic hair. You mentioned something like that. That's how like easy like their life is on NXT. So we'll see what happens. And then like we mentioned before, like Rich Holland and Tommaso Ciampa. I'm rooting for Rich here to get the win, Paul, just because this group, like these 4 guys, have to look good, and they have, like you said, maybe the new undisputed era. I like that, how you mentioned that. That could be really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be hard hitting. They're going to beat the hell out of each other. Don't be surprised if there's some bullshit where the 3 guys try to get involved and then there's a distraction and then Ciampa gets the win, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm still looking forward to it.
Yeah, you know it, Paul. You know it. So like, let's go to like the main event, like 6-man tag. We mentioned about this. We needed Legado del Fantasma to win because we're big fans of them, and not only the fandom that we have, or like because we care about them, but it's just like because they've been jobbed out, and like months ago they're actually really prominent in the show against Hit Row, Top Dollar, Adonis, and also Isaiah Scott. But like I like how when like Legado del Fantasma has a big match like this, they always come out in like the traditional Mexican like suits, all of that, like the masks, like the poncho, like everything. Santos Escobar on that, and how they portray the team is really good. So I thought when I saw this, I think it's like maybe they can get the win. What do you think about the match?
I mean, overall, I don't know. I don't want to say they don't have chemistry or whatever, but I feel like when Hit Row wrestles them, or maybe it's just the way, the matches aren't serious. Like you have, the Lucha guys are getting jumped all around by, Ashanti. He's just jumping all around them, and they're like, huh? Like he's like Spider-Man. Like, oh, what do we do? Like, aren't you supposed to be luchadors? Shouldn't you be the ones jumping around and, putting on all the fast moves? But no, that's not the case. Top Dollar just beats the shit out of him. There was a spot, it was in the picture-in-picture, but not Santos. What's his? I can't think of his name now. Who's the leader of the group? Hit Row. Swerve
Scott.
Yeah. Too many names in this group. Swerve Scott. When he had Santos's leg and he was just walking him and he was hopping on one leg, just swinging at him with his arms. I'm like, am I watching like a cartoon like baby fight? Or is this like real grown men like hit an enziguri when they catch your leg? Like, come on, But no, I mean, I didn't care for this. I didn't like it at all. I mean, and then at the ending, what we saw, I finally got at least what I was saying. You've
been asking for a woman for the longest time, and they gave us a woman. So Elektra Lopez, it makes sense. They didn't go with Carolina, that's fine, but at least they deliver Hispanic woman, and she took care of like beef half, and like completely beat her up because she was trying to cause decentralize trying to play the factor.
She pushed Santos into the ring post, and then we saw that big distraction again. Did Santos hit the Phantom Driver? Look badass?
Nope.
Pin 1, 2, 3. No. Nope. Roll up, grab the tights. They win. We're gonna see this feud continue, and again, they added the chick, but I still don't care.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. It's what I asked for, but they still somehow made me not care.
Yep, I mean, Isaiah Scott is like, in disbelief. He's in shock about what just happened. But I love this picture. This picture, finally they have a legit chick. So finally, Legado del Fantasma can be taken to the next level. Like I said, maybe the feud is not benefiting them, but at least if they come out the winners one more time, hopefully, the addition of Elektra Lopez makes total sense. We've been asking for it. I'm really happy about it. So that was pretty much NXT, Jean-Paul. Just because before we go, just very quick, Adam Cole, your thoughts, like completely gone for WWE. Like he made the right call. I think that like Britt Baker has a factor in it, and the fact that Bobby Fish was let go.
Yeah, I mean, if he thinks that's the right move, I mean that's him. Maybe, like we said, maybe he doesn't want to go to Raw, doesn't want to go to SmackDown because he knows he's not going to be pushed as a top guy, and he thinks. Maybe he won't even be like, oh, let me just go to AEW full time. Maybe he'll be like, I just want to wrestle in Ring of Honor. I want to wrestle here. Maybe he's going to do one of those. Let me go.
Yeah, like tours. Yeah. He can help Impact. Show up on Impact. Show up on all these shows like you said. Like they give him like that freedom that he can go everywhere. But it's a good call. If he feels like you said it, if he feels like he's done everything on NXT, if he knows that he doesn't have a chance on the main roster, okay.
Yeah, because this is the one thing I'll say. If you ask me, who is more legit? Like right now, between Punk and Adam Cole, it's Adam Cole. But who's more popular? It's Punk.
Yeah.
So I feel like if Adam Cole goes there, people will be like, "Oh, he's badass. I want to see him and Punk. I want to see him and Omega."
And they will give you a great match. So,
but he's not going to be the top guy. He
won't
be like he was in NXT, where even if he didn't have the belt, he was still the number one guy.
Yes, exactly. So, family, thank you so very much for the attention to this video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and also give the video a like so more people are exposed to the original Rope Break. And where else can they find us, Paul?
And make sure you follow us, Rope Break, on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, and of course right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
And you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...